Hello, Galaxy! That moment of silence was brought to you by the I don't know if this thing is streaming yet Foundation. Welcome aboard! Come along! We're about to have a Star Wars discussion. That's usually what happens with the Star Wars Radar Live talk show broadcast. I try to do it every weekday, right around this time, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'm a little late today, but it's a Friday, so yay, Friday! Hopefully, you don't mind that I'm late, and I hope you're early enough to join the conversation. There wasn't really much on my radar. I got to tell you, I haven't found much thrifting. I pretty much feel like I played out the whole Luke Skywalker, Stormtrooper, and Han Solo Stormtrooper figure saga. That said, today I went to see if I could get the 70% off Luke Stormy and Han Stormy, and they had them like on the shelf, but they weren't ringing up. Like they're out of the system. Like they no longer exist. So I had one right there. And I'm like, oh, maybe they'll honor the 70% off discount. No, like they weren't ringing up at all. They said, no, we've gotta take these back. So they are there, but not there. So apparently they became even that much more exclusive. Or maybe at some point in the near future we're going to see them end up at like a Ross, or I think Didi's is the other store, right? That's kind of the discount store that's out there. So yeah, that celebration tickets went on sale. I am sad. This is where I get to tell No Life 2692 that I'm the one who has no life because I'm not going to celebration. I probably could, but it's so far out and you can plan ahead, but I don't know where my life is going to be. I have a feeling I know where my life is going to be, onward and upward, but like that is just so far out that I just don't want to end up doing it and then being disappointed. One day when I'm in enough of a stable cycle and foundation, I will be able to do that with more regularity. Maybe an opportunity will come up. Never thought I would be able to do it years ago, and was blessed when Rich Cutter, who he runs a Boba Fett fan account on Twitter. He basically he was working with Verizon Wireless at the time through his agency, and they basically reached out to me. They said, "Hey, Chris, can you DM us? We've got something for you in relation to Star Wars." I'm like, "What's up?" That's the way to get my attention. And turns out that they were doing an activation down there, and so I was happy to go. It led to a lot of amazing things, but Celebration is not in the cards. I want to know if you're going to Celebration, but at the same time, I don't want to know. So it's kind of like what would you call that? Like Schrodinger's event. Does that make sense? Like, is it there? Is it not there? We don't know. Either way, I am not going to Celebration, so that's very sad. Seed of wait, let me try to get this. Dan Trillius. If that's a gaming thing, a video game thing, you're gonna have to explain it to me, because I'm like Atari 2600 Adventure age. That's me. Jar Jar Binks is hands down the best character. I cannot wait for the Jar Jar Binks Black Series figure. They are going to release it, and of course I'll get it. I like thrifting Jar Jar stuff that I find. I found this a Jar Jar. I guess you call him a doll, like a floppy doll, and he speaks the time. And if you toggle the switch in the middle of the night, like sometimes Jedi will toggle the switch, and you'll hear this. Oh, the time is now 9:42 p.m. Like, what is going? Oh, the switch, and then you got to turn off Jar Jar. I mean, we removed the batteries. I think we haven't heard him in a while, but it's a nice little floppy doll. I got him for like $10 thrifting. I also got the Jar Jar Binks. There's a dancing bank. Maybe I should unbox that soon. Seed. I don't have it like right here in front of me, so I'm not gonna like run down to get it. But it's still in the box, mint in box. I don't think it's gonna be worth anything, but like I said, I caught it thrifting. I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. You press a button and he kind of this mechanical dancing thing. So yeah, you can consider me a Jar Jar fan as well. I am one of those. I realize you probably said that just to get a rise out of me, but little do you know, it takes a lot more than that. Let me check here. So we've got this Darth Maul. This is the archive card. I'm checking the two cards to make sure I am holding onto one, because of course I collect in box or in package. but I also want to play with them, pose them. Originally released in 2013, and I think it's a slightly different sculpt than the special release that Hasbro did earlier this year on a card that looked a lot like the original 5 POA cards of the Phantom Menace action figures. So, give me a second. I'm looking over the packaging, seeing... Oh, yeah, I kind of got a crease here. I think I'll... Well, actually, no creases, just kind of a bend or a buckle. I've got a couple more to go through. I'm not going to open them all, like, in the same day. I'm not going to, like, do it all at once. I got to spread this out. Just enjoy it. Like a fine wine. Just, like, enjoy it. Usual Mike, the archive collection is great. I'm so glad they did it. I'm so glad. Because otherwise, I never would have been able to score this. It would cost an arm and a leg. And I just wasn't willing to pay that at all. I mean, who wants to pay an arm and a leg? But this is going to be fun because I have not ever had a Black Series Darth Maul. A lot of the original Black Series I did not get. Bosk I got. The Darth Vader I got. What other ones did I didn't get many of them. The Leia, Hutt Slayer, Leia I got. So I'm glad they kind of came back to it. These cards aren't as interesting for me to hold on to indefinitely though. The back is kind of neat, and some people would collect it for the art, but I don't know. I guess I missed the old cards, right? Now they got to throw disclaimers. My wish, my hope, and my wish is that this could be minimized into like a QR code or something, and so it's down in the corner. You can scan it for more information, but it doesn't have to take up space. I mean, that's the way they could accomplish it, right? I mean, can't the laws allow you to do that? They figured out how to do it with phones. Why can't they figure out how to do that with figures? You know what I'm saying? Come on, I can't be the only one who believes that. I refuse to believe I'm the only person who believes that. Oh, what's also nice is that you get an extra Maul head. I assume if you remove the cloak, which I'm likely, I'm inclined to do. I mean, it's nice. It's a wonderful sculpt. I wish that I did not just drop the 2 lightsabers. I wish that they had I wish it was soft goods though. All that said, I wish that his cloak wasn't this soft or pliable rubber, but more soft goods, easier to slip on and off without worrying about damaging. So let's see here. What's the difference then with the face sculpts? Doesn't look that much different, and I can't imagine. All right, let me see. Let me see if I can get it off. Do I have to actually pop off the head? Well, I'd imagine if I've got a replaceable head here. He also got his monoculars there. How could I do this? See, there's no instructions, so like I don't want to pop off his head and then end up ripping the cloak, because that's the worst feeling in the world, right? Damaging a figure, like breaking the figure like 2 seconds out of the package. Okay, so this I mean, it's got to be removable, right? Do I think Star Wars Loot Crate is a good value? I have no idea. I don't do loot crates. Little may you know, but like the Locker Gnome stuff was actually in the first Loot Crate. There's a story behind that. It turned out to be a very sad story. So anyway, on to happier topics. That said, I do have the Funko subscription on Amazon. Even though as much as I want to stop it, it's kind of like, inevitably I know. Oh, wait a minute. Why do they have soft goods? There's soft goods here, underneath his like tunic, but everything else is this plastic. Why did they do that? I guess maybe for posability. Okay. I don't understand why they do it with some characters and not others. Like, why did Mace Windu get soft goods, but Darth Maul did not? Ooh, I don't know what's going on. As soon as I can figure out, does anybody have a trick? Is there? How does it turn? How does it work? I know not, my liege. Consult the Book of Armaments. Come on, don't tell me I'm the only Monty Python fan out there. Please, 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 please do not tell me. Even if I am, don't tell me. Okay. Do I twist his arm that way? This is not intuitive. Okay, I think I have to pop off his head. I think it actually is attached to the head. It has to be. As I destroy him. The head has to come off. Yeah, I think it's attached to the head. Because why? There's like virtually no difference with the face sculpts. Yep, it's attached to the head. There we go. Okay. So, problem solved. Just pop off his head. That's all you gotta do. Try to wiggle and worm the rest of the figure out. Okay, so I guess that makes sense. So you've got this. So you can almost have a 2-for-1, right? You can stand him behind the other Darth Mauls and get like a bonus figure. He stands up. It stands up. But now I can put. Ow! Let me tell you something about Darth Maul. So when you try to push his head onto like his torso, it hurts because he's got those horns. Ow. That kind of hurt. Then of course his lightsaber hilt also attaches, and it looks like it's notched, so that it only attaches one way, or is fastened one direction. Not to be confused with the band One Direction. But we now have a Black Series Darth Maul. Da 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 da. Now I'm gonna have Duel of the Fates in my head all day. I won't be able to stay much longer because I actually have. I mean, I will be staying much longer, maybe another 20 minutes or so, because I've got another video staged for my personal channel, giving a review and or kind of a first impressions of the OnePlus 7 Pro. Ooh, that reminds me, I've got to update the thumbnail. All right, so it's easy enough to get one end. I'm sorry, I'm fiddling with the Maul. Not them all, the Maul. Jedi is having fun. She's usually in some kind of educational activity. And tonight is kind of an explorational activity. Diana is very, 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 very hands-on with her. Like, this child is not going to be starving for attention ever. Which means she's probably going to take after me and do videos, which she's inclined to do. We now have a Darth Maul. I'd say it looks pretty good. The only thing that would make this figure better, in my estimation, would be the actual his tunic would be entirely, see, because you can see it kind of under there. It would be entirely soft goods. That to me would make this figure just outstanding. I don't think it'd be easy to accommodate though, because it looks clean. His lines look clean here with this robe, and that would get kind of messed up, and he'd look kind of puffy if it was all soft goods. But maybe that so it's kind of a minor complaint, but I guess I could understand, and I can only imagine that the designers kind of went through that as an iteration. That'd be it's a total guess. I can't back that up with any kind of empirical evidence. But let me give me a second here. There we go. Okay, so now I got to get him to stand right with his feet. It almost looks like one is kind of splayed out over the other, but it just could be the way it's looking. Double hinge on his knees, not his elbows, not his shoulders necessarily, but that'll give a greater degree of posability. So happy to see that. He will be standing side by side. I'm gonna have this Ghost Maul behind him. See, look, you get like twofer. That's neat about Darth. Think about it. That's if you stack him behind figures, it's a twofer. That's cool. He's okay. It's fine. Everything's normal. Everything's okay. It does look exactly the same as the SW Celebration version. Yeah, someone said it was a slightly different facial sculpt, but I couldn't see it when I made the comparison. I think there may even be differences with the Kenobi that was released. But this was like, give me a second. Just looking at some stuff. Like I said, I'm kind of on this weird little schedule. But very happy that the time of day has come for us to geek out over Star Wars stuff. Anything hit your radar? Of course, I'll throw that out there. As I mentioned with Celebration, feel free to throw that out there. We'll discuss. You have the Darth Maul bank. When you put in a coin, he says bad things from the movie. That's awesome. That's awesome, Steven. See, that's the thing. Honestly, I got to tell you, that's the kind of thing I like to find thrifting. I wouldn't necessarily buy it full price, but like for a couple bucks, like, You learn that you see a lot of the same kind of objects over and over and over again when thrifting. Every so often you will find vintage 5 POA. More frequently you might find not super articulated, newer modern figures, but kind of like the mid-range from the prequel era, the Clone Wars eras. You may find figures. Sometimes I've lucked into a couple of hauls that way. I don't necessarily watch a lot of the Facebook groups anymore for the bigger ones. I should, because sometimes you find absolute gems, like people just looking to get rid of the figures, selling them for like $2-3 a pop in great shape. The thing you got to watch out for with a lot of used stuff is finding out whether or not it's from a home that was a smoking home. Like, because it's very hard to get the smoking smell out of plastics. You can do it. And what I've learned is you basically just get that the crystals, the cat litter crystals, and you stick them in there for like a week, forget about them, and maybe a week or two go by, then you take them out. You shake the crystals out, maybe dust them off, maybe wash them, and they've by and large the smoke smell, depending on how bad it is gone at that stage, which is great because I've been able to salvage. I keep those figures, the smoke damaged figures, the loose ones, separate. But just you never know. But it's never been a problem after I've gone through the process. There was a time that it was so bad I ended up sticking the figures in the dishwasher. They came out unscathed, not with soap, just like getting the hot water, getting as much of that surface gunk out, and that seemed to work for me. Could be overkill though, but that's the big thing when you're not thrifting, but just like scoping the Facebook groups or any of the apps of people trying to eliminate stuff. And then you kind of like better learn like what to price for. Like some people think, oh, it's Star Wars, therefore it's worth $1,000. I'm like, no. Or like especially the modern stuff, like they jack up the prices. Like it's not worth that. I'm not gonna say anything because they're selling it. It's up to them. But and it's not to say that they're trying to make a buck. You can tell when a scalper's doing something like it was brand new and the price is doubled. That's agitating. But like specifically the people who are like eliminating things and just they don't know how to price it, and they overshoot. And even when you try to deal with them, they don't want to deal. They say no, this is what I'm like. Good luck with that. Like there's an action figure, like a Star Wars figure and stuff haul for like $200, and I wouldn't say like it was an amazing, like if it was like packed with like 50 clones, like I'd be like, okay, $200 is, it's pretty fair. It's in the range of being fair, right? Like, cause that would, kind of come down to like $4 a clone. Of course if it was completed, be better. But we're talking like really a lot of commons, nothing that was kind of an outstanding, like the breakaway figure that might've made it worth more, like a Darth Maul, or a Darth Plagueis. That's when I knew. I'm like, dude, it's someone may buy it, but not for me. Not gonna. I would have bought it, but not for the price they were asking. So there are times even when thrifting, even in stores, like I'll see something I'm like, I can't just like the Darth Maul thing, right? That you were just mentioning. I would look at it and go, well, what's this worth to me? What is? Am I going to enjoy it? At $10? Probably not. At $5, possibly. $3, I'd probably grab it. So, I mean, unless I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool, this is so unique, and it's 99 cents. Or like, do I want it? But not really, but it's cheap, so sure. So a lot of it's contingent on price and value that's relative to that which you are collecting. Cheesy Sword, good to see you, our first member tonight. Good to see you virtually. It's so hard to find a regular schedule with this stuff right now, and I'm doing my best. And thank you again for your patience, just to have that regularity of every weekday evening, possibly even over the weekend. I don't really have anything outright for this weekend, but maybe give me a second. You get to see my Star Wars PJs. Maybe we can do another Lego Saturday build. I got this set 50% off. Amazon had a sale. Like I say, you really only try to buy Lego Star Wars sets at 50% off, or Lego sets period. But I've been wanting to open this and put it together. It'd be a very quick build. Yeah, 355 pieces, pretty quick. Probably not even an hour. But Emphas Nest. I'm not going to say she's a chase for me, because I'm not sure how many more things we're going to get of Emphas Nest. I'm happy to have the 6-inch variant or the 6-inch and the 3.5 inch, as well as the super articulated 3.5 inch TBC. But I didn't have the Lego one. I also have the 10-inch Hasbro. I've kind of got a little micro collection, so to speak, to use that label of Emphas Nest, which I think is pretty cool. I love the design. The character Emphas. There's one thing I would love to see with Disney Plus is more Emphas Nest. I think she deserves her own miniseries. I really do. I would love. Oh my God, would you not freak out to see how Emphas Nest's Marauders came together? That would be so cool. Oh, that'd be so cool. Oh man. Oh, that'd be so cool. Yeah. So anyway, maybe we'll do this tomorrow. I think I've got a slightly different angle right now compared to the way I had it set up before, but we can figure it out. I'll angle it down. I'll be able to see chat, and hopefully everything else will come out okay. So maybe like I said, I'm trying to find my way into patterns. So maybe a Saturday Lego assembly. That doesn't really make me. I'm trying to make it pithy, right? Like Lego Saturday, Brick Saturday, Bricker Day, Lego Day. Not feeling it, Lloyd. So anyway, can't have too many Lego bricks. That's what I say. That's true. I've got a whole bin full of like loose Lego bricks because I'm a figure fan. Figures are the way to get me. I've taken like consulting meetings, and they say, "Well, what do you charge?" I'm like, I don't know. Bring me a Star Wars figure. Bring me a vintage Star Wars figure. Something like, like bring me I'm looking for this action. Bring me that action figure, right? Get me a. Let me look up one that's worth something that I would like. Like a Jaina. Bring me a Jaina solo figure. And we'll sit down and talk. And I'm not saying it always happens. It doesn't happen all that often. But there have been times I'm like, because otherwise, what do you charge? For giving advice like that. Apparently I'm not charging enough, but I'll charge a Star Wars figure. That's the way to my heart. Star Wars something. That's how you get me. That's how you hook me. I'll be straight up honest with y'all. Most recent Star Wars toys, no life available is the Wave 21 Black Series. Oh yeah, and I have those as well. I just haven't gotten to showcasing them. I think they've been shown. I think maybe as soon as I move through the archive figures, like I'm trying to open like one a day, then we could jump into the black. Yeah, because I'm waiting for duplicates of the Black Series because I tend to keep some in the box and then open the others. I know, I shouldn't do that, but it's like I just can't. I can't not. I want it both ways. But I save money elsewhere. We thrift for like clothes. We kind of thrift for food too. Like we get manager specials all the time. Like I don't eat corn, but I got like 2 ears of corn for $1 today. So like 7 for like $3.50. Great price for corn, especially here. Like my wife eats salads, but we only get them at like for $1 a bag, not $3 a bag. Like we'll get like 4 onions for like $1 or $1.50. Bananas at like 39 cents a pound. So we don't pay a lot for eating, and so we do save money. And sometimes when it comes to Star Wars stuff, I try to save money, but anymore, man, if you don't nab them like right up front, there's a chance that you're never going to see them again. Especially Walmart. Our Walmart store has nothing. It's sad. I mean, it's scary and it's sad because they were supposed to like pick up where Toys R Us left off, and they did not do that. Cheesy Sword got his 4-day ticket for Celebration. They already sold out in less than a day. Okay, Cheesy, you're gonna have to. Here's the thing, Cheesy, you're gonna have to send reports. Nah, just enjoy yourself. That would be an event that I would love to like strap on like a live streaming backpack and get permission to do that and actually live stream from the floor. Not go into the restroom with a live stream backpack, but man, wouldn't that be cool? Oh. A long time ago in a galaxy not so far away, my flea market had lots of open toys, and I tried to scoop up as much as I could. Well, not so much anymore. Yeah, sometimes you get a good run, and that's it. Elite Series is very cool. A little bit of weight to them. I've got some Elite Series. I like the Elite Series droids, but Elite Series, I'll say this. I know they're die cast and metal, and they're way more expensive, but they don't balance well. They're usually very top heavy. And Elite Series is an example of, if you want to collect in box, Elite Series is great, because once you take Elite Series out of the box, maybe minus a couple Astromech examples, they just, the joints go loose easily. They're very tricky to balance properly, but they look great in the box. So for Elite Series, keep them in the box is my recommendation. But yeah, you can still collect them. I mean, I'm not gonna say don't collect something, but like that I think is where Elite Series should be. Cheesy Sword, I'll be the Star Wars radar correspondent. There you go. Do it. Yeah, you'll make me jealous. Like, oh man, I'm gonna cry. Like, the thing that I loved, I think, most about Celebration is just walking around and seeing the vendors. Like, some of the stuff, I'm not gonna say it's overpriced. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for, depending on what you want. But I like seeing a lot of the older Star Wars toys out, just to see what's there. Maybe some of the newer stuff, the newer merch, as long as it's priced decent. But I've always been more of a merch guy, always, more than anything. But you know, everyone revels in the fandom differently. Toys R Us is back in Australia online, but it's not the same. Oh, you're in Australia, in Canada too. It's in Canada. There's been scuttlebutt suggesting like KB Toys is going to make a comeback, possibly Toys R Us. I'd like to see it, if only because I think there's a gaping hole, and you know, the way I'd approach it would certainly be different. But I like the idea of toy stores for a lot of different reasons. Toys R Us by and large was too pricey for its own good. Minus exclusives, it was rare, or coupons. It was rare that I ever went or wanted to go. But it was just, it was kind of there, right? Most of, I think the way the collectors are going anymore is online, through like Dorkside Toys or Entertainment Earth, Hasbro Pulse, or anything of the like, because, or even Big Bad Toy Store, right? Because you can pre-order, you can get exactly what you're looking for, you can get like a full box, a full case of something, and not have to worry about a toy run. Now, that said, I enjoy a good toy run. I do. Like, going out on a weekend and, seeing, oh, what's out there, what's new, did I miss anything, did I see something, and kind of cruising the stores in that sense. You never know what you're going to encounter on a toy run. Sometimes, and I'm usually pretty good at staying up on like what's going to be new, what's coming down the pike. The next one of the videos that I would love to do for my other channel at some point, and I just don't, like I said, there's so many ideas that I want to do, and I can only do it a day at a time, and some of them I would prefer Jedi be here with me. Tonight is going to be one of those. Oh, in about 5 minutes I gotta go. I'm going to do something where give me a second. I'm going to be talking about the OnePlus Pro 7 Plus 1 Pro, OnePlus 7 Pro. Okay, but I'm going to talk about my first impressions with it, and just like the general feeling that I get from it. Like, Fox News, what the hell is that doing here? Oh, please forgive me for that. Holy Jeebus. Hang on. It's probably, this is geared more towards like enthusiasts more than anybody else, but I got a chance to kind of play with it, and so I've been playing with it, and for the most part, it's clean and it's smooth-ish, and it's speedy, but it's got one Achilles heel that would keep me from using it. I'm giving you a spoiler. The camera sucks. There's no other way of putting it. The camera is absolutely horrific. Back to happier topics. How about Child World coming back? Just dreaming. I never went. We had a Children's Palace where I grew up. I remember that as a toy store. Toys and More was another giant toy store. That's where I bought my Star Wars figure. My first one, I should say. Toys and More. 99 cents. That AT-AT driver. Priceless. I mean, very few things, that you kind of hold on to throughout life, and that's one of those things. I mean, I've gotten rid of a lot, over time, because it just doesn't. I have no emotional connection with it. Star Wars is really not one of those things necessarily. I did though. I had the Darth Vader PSP. I did sell it. I probably shouldn't have, but I did sell it. I didn't get boo for it, but yeah. See, I wasn't really emotionally attached to it, even though I should have stayed attached to it because of Darth Vader. And I had other Darth Vader things. I don't know why. I was like, I'm not going to play it anymore. I can at least get something from it. Oh, silly me. Silly Chris. So I'm going to go ahead and start winding down. Not only have we hit about a half hour, but as I mentioned, I got to roll into another video. Oh, man. Don't you hate when you, find a floater in your drink? By the way, let's see if anybody catches the reference. I am drinking Grape Juice Plus. Anybody catch the reference? There's a piece of fuzz in there. So, of course, I dip a tissue in. Grape Juice Plus, anyone? Grape Juice Plus. Anybody? Tell me. Okay, please tell me that you got the reference. Please tell me. Come on. Even I got that. I mean, I made the reference. I get the reference. Grape Juice Plus. Isn't that how she drank it? Kind of gave a little bit away. Could you give me a link to the review? It's going to be streamed live in the Chris Pirillo YouTube channel. YouTube.com/Chris Pirillo as opposed to YouTube.com/Star Wars Radar. Fun fact of the day. Thank you, Cheesy Sword. I couldn't live unless I had one of these. Fun fact of the day. After establishing the New Republic, Mon Mothma insisted on not having any official military. She focused on encouraging planets to provide for their own security from Bloodline and Alphabet Squadron. So cool. Cheesy Sword, you add so much to these broadcasts. Everybody does. But, I appreciate that. I like learning something new every day. And that's I like learning it that way, too. Chunk by chunk, bit by bit. It's like opening a Star Wars figure box. Now, you don't want to rip through all of them. I just want, just to enjoy it, one at a time. Even though it's been this flap. Not to me, I'm not trying to cause a flap. Your Jedi has a lot of entries. She does. So happy you're doing this wonderful service. Well, it's not really a service. I'm just geeking out with the rest of you guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I will see you possibly tomorrow for the Lego build. That will be, of course, streamed, and you catch the recording after the fact. But I'll be back absolutely shooting for Monday. Monday's going to be a busy day. And by the way, Grape Juice... Hang on. Let me see if I can even find if the reference is out there. Grape... It has to be. There's actually a band name? No. Yeah, okay, so you can find out the reference. You can look it up. You can probably guess as to the reference. Grape Juice Plus. It's funny. It's not the band, I guess, or it's not the song. It's from a movie. All right, guys. Thanks again. Happy Friday. Hope if I don't see you, I'll see you this weekend. I'll see you on the other side. Have a happy weekend. I love you. I appreciate you. But at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. And may the Force be with you, including you, Clear Space at the very end. May the Force be with you always.